Hey guys, and welcome back to Sparkle Be Pink. My name's Michelle, and it has been a little while since I've done one of these updates, and I apologize for that, but it has taken a lot of motivation to sit down and film, which kind of goes hand in hand with the update. Basically, what this video is going to go over is my radioactive iodine treatment and kind of life update with my whole cancer situation. If you haven't been following along, then I will put some of the links down below so you can kind of catch up to speed and see what exactly it is that I'm talking about. So basically, for starters, I did go through my radioactive iodine treatment. I am about a month out now. I had my surgery, to kind of give a little brief over, in November. And then I had my radioactive iodine treatment in March, and it is now the first week of April. So why it took me so long to film, as you kind of could guess, is I have just been so exhausted. I have returned to going back to work full time. I work my 40-hour weeks, and I have my 2 kids. And when I get home, I am beat. Like, I literally come home, and it's kind of like that, if you've been pregnant before, that first trimester where you're just exhausted. It literally feels like that all the time. So it's been really hard to get that motivation going to sit down and film. But today I had a little bit of energy and I wanted to share with you guys my story. I had to wait so long after my surgery to have my radioactive iodine treatment because of insurance, because of work and trying to get the time off. Basically all of those things, and waiting for pre-approvals for me to have the treatment. It just took that long for me. Hopefully for you it doesn't take that long, because I believe like the quicker you do it after your surgery, the better the results. So hopefully I don't have to do this again. If you don't know already, the radioactive iodine treatment, or I-131, is a cancer treatment. So I did have to go to a separate doctor than my ENT. So I have my ear, nose, and throat doctor, who is the surgeon. I have my endocrinologist, who is the one who regulates all of my thyroid and endocrine sort of systems. And then I have I don't even know what he was called technically, because I only saw him like once. He's my cancer doctor. Literally, I did a consultation with him, and then weeks and weeks later, when everything got approved, I went in and had my treatment done by a different doctor. So that's why I'm like, I don't even know who he technically is. The treatment itself is a pill. Simple as that. It's a tiny little blue pill. And I did do some vlogging throughout the process, which I'll kind of like jump to that here in a little bit. But I wanted to give you the premise of the treatment in general. The treatment itself is that pill. Now, prepping for the pill is kind of a big part of it. The 14 days prior to having your radioactive iodine treatment or the pill, you need to go on a low iodine diet. That means no iodinized salt, cutting out your dairy, no seafood. What else was there? I had a really strict diet that I needed to follow leading up to the treatment so that it would work the best way that it can. Also, 2 days prior to actually having the pill, I had to go in for thyroid shots at the hospital. So that was not at the cancer facility, it was actually at the hospital. And each of those days they put a little shot in the side of my bum, and that would allow me to take my thyroid medicine from my surgery date up until I had my radioactive iodine treatment. Traditionally in the past, they would have you go off of your thyroid meds cold turkey for up to 6 weeks before the treatment so that it could work the best way that it can. I was not willing to do that. I have way too much stuff going on to feel, like crap. To be honest, I already felt like crap. I didn't need to feel any worse. So I did kind of fight with them a bit to do the thyroid treatment and do it that route. So once you have your radioactive iodine treatment, you are radioactive and you have to take very serious precautions. The doctor told me that I would be in full quarantine for 3 full days and then 7 full days of limited quarantine, which would mean no children, no having my dogs on my lap, not touching anything or like anybody was going to touch, like going to the bathroom. I needed to use a separate bathroom than everybody else. I needed to prepare my food separately than everybody else. We had to be super, super careful, and I would have to sleep in another bed. So I had to sleep on the other side of the house. So I slept in my beauty room because luckily I do have a bed set up over here. And I kind of made a little sanctuary in here. But it was a little bit strange, especially the first, we did like a full 5 days of like no contact with other humans. Like I would see Logan like down the hall and be like, hi. And it was really hard on me. The first 2 days were the worst because that's kind of when I felt the worst. And you really, when you feel crappy, you just want to be hugged and held, and we couldn't do that. Speaking of the feeling crappy, again, in the vlogs, you'll kind of see a little bit of that. And I feel like that was my biggest fear going into this treatment. I really wasn't worried about it being like a cancer treatment. I was more afraid of being like stuck in one place. I'm not really good at being like chilled out and relaxing. I like to be go, go, go. So that was kind of a hard mentality for me to go into this week. Luckily, I channeled that energy into some online work. But that's probably why you guys saw some videos going up and up and up there for a little bit. But yeah, I think that's about it on my end. I do a bit more of a life update when it comes to dealing with this moving forward. But I kind of wanted to leave this video as just talking about the radioactive iodine treatment, and I'll show you guys the vlog inserts now. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below in case I forgot anything. I know a couple of the clips that I was doing, I thought my phone was facing me, but it wasn't, so there might be some holes in my story or what I was trying to share with you guys. So let me know if any of that leads you to have any questions. But thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me and all of the messages that I have been getting. People asking me like, I'm making sure you're okay. You know, we know we had something going on and we haven't seen videos. And honestly, when I see that, it just makes me feel like I need to get back into the swing of things. And I got some new lights and stuff here that I'm playing around with. So hopefully I'll be doing that here shortly. But yeah, let's get into the vlog. Good morning. So I'm about to head into the hospital to have my first round of treatment, or to kick start off this whole cancer treatment journey. I'm not really nervous about it. Today's just kind of the first day where I just get a shot. I'm more pissed off that I had to be here at 7 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, let's go do this and see how bad it is. Alright, back in the car. It wasn't that bad, like the treatment wise. It was just a little shot in the side of my buttocks. But the appointment was at 7:30 and I'm now just getting in the car and it's 10 to 9. So they were severely behind schedule, even though it was bright and early, so that's a little annoying. And now I'm off to work and hopefully I don't feel too funky. I did stop by the cafeteria to grab some snacks. I grabbed like a protein bar. So hopefully that gives me some energy, because apparently this shot's gonna make me super tired and like, because essentially it's amping up all of the thyroid, amp up some sort of hormones. So alright, so I just got in the car after work and I'm heading to the hospital now, or the facility, it's next to the hospital, to have my treatment. It is hot as nutters. I'll be nice outside. I'm gonna actually turn the air conditioning on. I'm a little bit nervous about this, not necessarily about the treatment, but I think more nervous about being like stuck in the house for like a week, because I guess like to some people that sounds amazing, but to me that sounds like I love people. I love being out and about and being able to do things, and I don't know. I've also haven't been able to eat since like 9 o'clock this morning because of the procedure, so I'm getting a little hangry. But yeah, I'm on my way. It's like 90 freaking degrees outside, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. Alright, so I just got here and I need to remember to take my nausea medicine before I go in. It's basically just a dissolving tab that goes underneath my tongue, and it's supposed to help keep me from feeling sick. Alright. After having my treatment, and I feel fine. All I did was swallow the pill. It came in this really cool container. I'll show you here. I feel okay. I don't feel funny. I do feel a little bit gross. I need to go wash my hair and shower. They suggest that we shower a couple of times in the first like 24 hours, so I guess I'm gonna go do that. Alright, so I'm sitting here doing some work on the computer. Obviously, I took a shower. I have no makeup on, so sorry, but just in the past hour did I start to feel like a little weird, and mostly it's in my neck. I feel very tight right in here, And it's not that it's painful, it's just uncomfortable to swallow. Like when I swallow, and I've been drinking a ton of water, which by the way, my new water bottle from Amazon arrived today. But I've been trying to drink a lot to flush out everything, because that's the best way to get rid of the radioactive iodine in my system, is to basically urinate it out. But the swallowing is just like creepy and uncomfortable, and I think it's normal, but I guess we'll see. But otherwise, no other symptoms. I haven't been nauseous or anything. I've even taken a couple of sips of wine. Day 1.5. I wanted to stop in and say hi to you guys because I'm starting to feel a little sick. I woke up about, well, let's backtrack. I didn't really sleep well last night, and my legs were really restless. They kept falling asleep, so I don't know what that's all about. And I felt pretty good when I woke up this morning. I finally got up about 9 o'clock and, excuse me, I watched a TV show, let the dogs outside, you know, came right back in here, you know. I miss them. I didn't think I'd miss the dogs as much as I do. But, yeah, I just kind of been hanging out in my room, and my voice is really weak today. I'm really sorry, because it feels very tight in here, very like warm and like sore. Like it kind of is annoying to swallow. It's not that it hurts, it's just more annoying. I made myself a smoothie this morning, some fresh berries and almond milk, nothing too fancy. And I'm sorry I'm not wearing makeup again in this shot. I do plan to put some on today eventually, but I do want to film it, so I'm kind of waiting until I feel a little bit better. Just in the last like 10-15 minutes, I started to feel a little bit like nauseous or like an uncomfortable feeling in my stomach, so I may finally give in and take my Zofran. Oh, this voice thing's so annoying. Maybe I won't film because then you guys won't be able to hear me, which is really frustrating because I really did want to be productive in my downtime this week. I know I'm supposed to be resting, but I'm so bad at that because I feel like I'm really hard on myself with taking downtime. I feel guilty for doing it. I feel like if I'm not at work, like my job work, I need to be doing something productive that's to make my life better, or to make money, or to make myself happy, or, you know. Oh, my nose is running crazy today too. So I don't know if that's part of it, or if I just have a touch of a cold or allergies or something. Just feeling a little uncomfortable in my body. It's kind of creeping me out that my legs keep falling asleep, and my arms too. So like if I leave them in a certain position for too long, they fall asleep quicker than they normally would. Like my arm right now is tingling like pins and needles, and I've only been holding it up for like a minute. So that's something, I have a feeling it's all connected. The only other thing that I have to mention is that, you know, when you kind of have a fever and like the inside of your mouth or like your nose or your eyes feel like really hot, or like when you go to the bathroom and it feels like really warm, like the outside world feels cold but the inside of your body feels hot. That's what it feels like. And it is warm to the touch of my neck, but my whole body overall too. So, but I did check my temperature and I don't have a fever, thank goodness, because I just wanted to be double sure. So definitely my body's fighting it off, and I need to be drinking a little bit more water. I did make myself this little makeshift V8 juice. Can you see that? And I put some chia seeds in there. So hopefully that'll fill up my tummy and help me with a little bit of fiber to get everything flushed out of my system nice and quickly, so I can get back to normal and being productive, because when I'm productive I feel better about myself. And yeah, hopefully I have makeup on next time I check in with you guys. All right, so it is Monday morning. I had my treatment Thursday, just as a little reference guide here, and I just got back from getting blood work done in my local LabCorp, hence the wacky gloves. I didn't want to contaminate anybody as much as possible. So basically I got there right when they opened, but of course there was like a million of people ahead of me already. So I just went up to the clerk and I handed them my paperwork, and I was like, hey, I just want to let you know that I am radioactive and I don't feel comfortable sitting in the waiting room,
you know, with other people, because technically I'm not supposed to be around pregnant, sick, elderly, or children for the first week, you know, and it's only been a couple of days. So that just as a precaution, knowing that I wasn't contaminating other people with radioactive particles, you know, I let them know that. Well, the one clerk was like, she looked over at the other one, she's like, well, I've never heard of that before. And it kind of made me feel like really bad, as if I was making it up, and I promise you I'm not making this up. This is just what the doctor told me to do, and he told me to get blood work done, and I was trying to be as careful as possible. Luckily, Lily, here, Lily. I know, baby. I can't play with them, and it's killing me, and it's killing them, and it's sad. But anyways, luckily the other clerk was nice, and she's like, why don't you just go wait out in your car, and I'll come get you when we're all set. So I was like, okay, cool, I can do that. So that's what we did, and she comes and gets me from my car to get the blood work done, and as she's drawing it, she asks me why I can't be around people, will I get sick? And I was like, no, I'm not necessarily about me getting sick, it's about me making you sick, and I don't, you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to expose you guys. And she told me that she deals with thyroid issues as well, and that she had Hashimoto's, which is a little different than what I went through. I'm more hypo, which means my levels are just low, whereas Hashimoto's, I believe, is an autoimmune disease, and you're like, it actually attacks the thyroid. If I'm understanding that right, correct me if I'm wrong. So for her to not know the extensiveness of having a thyroid surgery and having it be cancer and the treatments afterwards, you know, I suppose it's not common knowledge for everybody to know, but that's exactly why I make these videos and why I feel so passionate about sharing my story with you guys. It's not to get a woe is me, like, oh, I feel so bad for you. It is more for me to share my experience and how I went through this process. Yeah, I mean, as you can hear, my voice is still a little bit rough. It's a little bit tender right here. Oh, touching that just feels like uncomfortable. It's not necessarily pain. It's just very, very sore, like as if I want to just massage it, and it feels very tight. Otherwise, I feel pretty normal, a little bit tired here and there. When I do get tired, I've been just laying down in the bed, and you know, because I've been in quarantine in the other room. I'm technically not even supposed to be out here, but the light's here, guys, so priority. Yeah, I'm probably safer today than I have been the last few days. They say that everything flushes out technically within the first 3 days. The rest is kind of a precaution. So yeah, we'll have to wait for the blood work to come back. Friday, I go for my body scan, so we'll find out if I'm still holding on to any of the radiation, and if it's, you know, in anywhere other parts of my body, because if it is, that means that the cancer had spread. And yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm thinking that that's not happening. All of my symptoms seem to be in line with what they told me was gonna happen. And yeah, I can't think of anything else at the moment, so I'll check back in with you guys. Good morning. So I'm about to head into the cancer clinic to have my full body scan. It is the Friday after the treatment, so a week later. I'm not really nervous about this, and I really haven't thought much about it because all I know is I'm having a body scan. They didn't really give me much other info to kind of go off of than that. Although in the voicemail that they left as like a reminder call, they told me to allot for a 90-minute like time period, but there was no prep for it, so I will talk to you guys after. Alright, well that was pretty quick. It's about 9:15 right now. Basically I got in there, filled out some paperwork real quick. They pulled me back. They took me, it was a really nice facility, like really nice. And they took me back to this room where there was like a changing room with like a sliding glass door, and it was really like fancy. And what I did was I just took off my bra. I was able to wear what I was wearing since I'm just wearing the like Victoria's Secret yoga pants and like a t-shirt, but my bra had underwire in it, and not to construe the scan because it is a full body, they had me remove that and just put a gown over my clothing. And I requested a blanket because it was freezing in there, and there's like a fan blowing for the big machine. So basically you get on this little table, kind of like a normal CAT scan table, and it sort of looks like that machine but a little bit different. And then there's this big square that comes like so close to your face and then it moves like barely anything down your body. Like, there was a point where I kind of moved my head, and then I looked up at the ceiling and I realized I was moving, but barely. Like, it was really hard to tell. And I was like, oh crap, I hope I didn't just mess up the scan. Like, I didn't even realize the machine was on. There was no like loud clinking noises. Like, I think I've had like MRIs or CAT scans, whatever the machine is that clinks. It wasn't like that at all. It was actually really just kind of peaceful. And there was a point where I'm pretty sure that I snored. And the facility again was really gorgeous because the ceiling that you're looking up at was like a sky with like tree branches coming out, and it was really peaceful and nice. Like, I could see people who are in maybe a worse situation than I am feeling like really calm in there. The only time I started getting antsy was when it was like doing my thyroid, because it did the full body and then it did like a more centralized scan on my thyroid, and the machine was like so close to me and I could feel its presence, and I just kept telling myself I was like under a blanket in a tent with the kids and like playing with them. Just, it's all of a mind thing. It's not like a physical thing that was in pain or discomfort. It was totally mental. That's how I got through it. And yeah, I'm gonna go pick up the kids now. I did ask the technician to look at the scan because I'm extra weird like that. So I don't even know how to read it or anything, but I know that any points that light up were areas that the radioactive iodine was still collected. It did light up in my neck, which is typical. That's where we wanted it to kind of light up and kill anything off. But it also lit up, it looked like, I'm not a doctor, 2 other areas in my body. So we'll see what that's about. I should hear back from later today if I need to go back for a more detailed scan. But he said most of the time they don't have to do that. And yeah, I think that's about it. I go to see my endocrinologist later in the week, this coming week on Thursday. So it's Friday, next Thursday, so in a week. And yeah, I'm excited to get on to my like normal life journey. And I think that's it for today.
When I did my follow-up with my endocrinologist, she said that everything seemed to uptake in my neck area, which was expected because that's where it's killing off all of the leftover thyroid, healthy or cancerous tissue. But that it was still there when they did the scan quite a bit. So she is going to have me do a full radioactive iodine body scan a year from now and see if anything pops up then, although it should be all killed off by then and kind of processed through my system, which by the way, you kind of expel radioactive iodine particles through urination, through sweat, through any of your bodily fluids. So keeping that in mind if you're doing this process, it is very crucial to be wearing gloves and, like I mentioned, not touching anything that anybody else is going to be eating or using, being sure that you're double flushing the toilets, switching out your toothbrush, and just being super careful of everything you touch that touches your mouth or your hands or anything that you could like sweat on or anything like that. So, all right,